is you as the small business person, if you have other employees and everything else, get ideas from them. Let them, they can help build your business and everything else. You don't have to come up with all the ideas yourself. Talk to your people. How would they suggest you do things? Another thing that causes people a lot of stress is they don't have any policies and procedures. There's no set ways of doing things. It's, well, you do it this way this week, another way next week. My son, for example, worked in a large factory here, and this large factory would bring in different speakers and everything else, and their big deal was, what's the flavor this month? Nobody did anything. The company spent a lot of money, but he said, unfortunately, that stuff wasn't being used. And it's the same with small businesses. They're not utilizing the resources that they have. Does that help answer your question?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So what about, you just touched on something where people have this tendency of keep doing the same thing over and over again, the same way, and expecting a different result. What is that?
Definition of insanity.
Why do we do that?
We get in a rut. People get in a rut. You clean your teeth the same way in the morning, you get dressed, you drive to work the same way in the morning, and everything else. You just get in a rut in a way of doing things. Well, it used to work for me 20 years ago, so it should work for me now. Businesses don't stop to look at the changes that are happening. Like the internet is a major big deal. It's happening for a lot of businesses, and yet people still want to advertise in the newspaper and in the yellow pages. Up here, and I imagine down there, they're the same thing. People don't use the internet or newspapers, and yet businesses will spend a fortune on it. Why? Because that's what they always did. So that's what they're going to continue doing. Rather than saying, okay, my customers aren't coming from the yellow pages, I better do something different. And rather than looking into doing something different, because that means a change, and change for a lot of people is very unsettling, they'll just continue to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Wow. That's amazing. It's amazing to me. So, that gentleman that you mentioned earlier that spent $20,000 on direct marketing and basically got nothing, how does someone gets to a place of making that choice, that decision, that I'm going to spend $20,000? How much work do you think he's done researching the company he bought it from, researching his industry, researching how other people have purchased these kind of programs, and how successful or not successful were they?
Virtually nothing. And the simple reason I'm saying that is they had done this direct mailing for years. The man has been in business for a number of years, and they did it, and it always worked. So to him it was working 10 years ago, 5 years ago, so it's going to work today. He sent, like I said, spent $20,000, sent out direct mail pieces. Doesn't get any results. And when I was talking to him today, he was debating whether he was going to do it again. And my question to him was, you got 3 responses and 2 told you to take you off the mailing list. And the other guy was somebody who went shopping on the internet. What do you think your next $20,000 is going to get you?
Okay, so I have an idea why people doing this, and I have a word for it, and the word is hope.
I agree with you there.
People are mesmerized by hope,
and,
hoping that it will work.
Sorry, the sales rep that came in and sold the $20,000, he was selling the gentleman hope. You send these out, and hopefully you'll get lots of business. You're absolutely right.
And I've seen this on the internet. I mean, internet marketers have got rich by selling hope. They packaged up their programs and they said, if you buy this thing from me, look at all the things that are going to be happening to you. And I can even show it to you. I'll show you my, just a portion of my PayPal account. I'll show you all the orders that came in. And people go nuts and buy the $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 programs today.
Greed is a wonderful thing. People, people look at it and say, oh, gee, for only $5,000, I'm going to make $200,000 a year. It's a great return on your money. And I don't have to do anything. All I got to do is make a couple clicks on my computer, and all this money's going to come in. It's
but
a
John,
nice story.
If it was that easy, John, wouldn't everybody be doing it, and we wouldn't be in the recession, and we wouldn't have the problems out there we're having, if it was that easy?
I agree with you. And if it was that easy, would the guy be selling you that plan, or would he just be making more and more money?
So are we a gullible nation?
North Americans are greedy. And, a lot of people, yes, we look for the fast buck. And, especially as the economy tightens up, here's somebody comes along and says, you can make X number of dollars and you don't have to work. And maybe the guy's struggling and saying, oh, gee, I need that to feed my family. So he'll put out the last money that he's got. And then all of a sudden it doesn't work. Maybe the family's out on the street or whatever. Or maybe it's not their last dollars, but okay, the last program didn't work, so I'll kick that box underneath the bed. It'll bounce off the other 10 I bought, and I'll go buy another one and see what happens with that.
Mm. So are you saying that Canadians don't sell and buy hope?
Canadians and Americans are the same way. That little line in the middle really doesn't mean anything. All it does is the money changes colors, and but that's about it. Because the people here buy from the States. The gurus on the internet and everything else, they're out buying their programs. Going to make a gazillion dollars. Everything's going to be hunky dory.
So I guess what I'm getting at, John, I'm getting at the truth. What is the truth about all of this?
The truth is, people, if it's on the internet or you're in a brick business, do your research before you spend your money. Like, don't just take it at the guy's word. The guy comes along and says, okay, I'll sell you these $20,000 worth of brochures, direct mailers, and you're going to get a ton of business coming through the door. Do some research. How many people have been getting the results with the direct mailers? Call some of your competition up. Be a mystery shopper. See what they're doing. The other thing too about if you're going to check with your competition about what advertising or promotions they're doing, you'll find everybody does plus or minus 10% of the same thing. If you want to get ideas that work or what have you, go to an entirely different business, industry. If you see an ad that you like in that industry or business, figure out how you can adapt it to yours. And it may be just the thing you need to be successful.
Yeah, that's a very good point, John. I was about to ask you about that anyway, is because what I believe in, instead of hope, is to sell and market results.